Yeah, we need some symmetry here.
Red tie day.
Yes.
Red tie day, indeed. All right, let's go ahead and get started. This will be short and I think a lot of fun because we're here today just to celebrate a little bit and to have a moment of thanks in terms of thanking the citizens of the community for what has been done recently. And what we're talking about is the voter-approved quarter-cent sales tax that's currently in place that will indeed end as advertised September 31st of this year. And I think all of you know our council leadership is here today, Roy Christensen and Tom Casady, our public safety director, is here today. And we are glad to be able to remind you of this event. Cindy Lamb on our city council is also here today. I don't think you were here back in 2015 when we passed this current increment, were you not?
I think it was 2014, the vote.
Okay. In any event, at that time, Lincoln residents chose to implement what was a small sales tax increment to improve the city's public safety services. They knew that a growing city needed the resources to ensure quick emergency response, replacing the city's emergency radio system and building 4 new fire stations, one of which was a joint police and fire station. We knew that that would pay tremendous dividends in the future. Lincoln had not added a fire station since 1997, even as the city had grown by 47,000 people. This was like adding the city of Grand Island, but without the fire stations to ensure a safe, efficient, and quick emergency response to the new growth areas of the city. Growth and fairness to all must be served. Also, a new modern radio system was needed to ensure the reliability of critical emergency communications. The old system was a relic of a past era, and while it served us well, its technology was outdated and it was inadequate going forward to serving the community's needs. Lincoln residents were given the opportunity to choose how to spend their hard-earned dollars, evaluating the community need against the cost. They saw the value of the proposal and gave their consent, self-imposing a quarter-cent sales tax. The project has been a remarkable success. The fire stations will soon be under construction, pending City Council approval of a contract at today's meeting. The radio system replacement is in full swing. The total cost of the projects will come in under the amount of revenue collected. More details on the construction are in your press release, but it's an investment in which we all can take pride. The original ballot language limited the quarter-cent sales tax to 3 years. That date is September 31st of this year. A resolution instructing the city to notify the state of Nebraska that collection of the tax will end at that time has been introduced to the council today. The resolution is a cause for congratulations and celebration of what is working in Lincoln. We identified a problem, and community input through our Taking Charge process helped shape the proposal. We held nearly an unprecedented number of community meetings to determine what community needs could potentially be addressed by additional sales tax dollars. We set aside partisanship, and a unanimous city council vote put the issue in front of the voters. Nearly 60% of the voters endorsed the plan. It was a great example of how we do business in Lincoln and why our community continues our long run of unprecedented success. Moving forward, a group of Lincoln citizens has recommended that we consider a new sales tax proposal for roads after the current sales tax expires. The Transportation Coalition believes that investment in cities' road infrastructure is critical to traffic safety, to economic growth, and to avoid even more expensive road costs in the future. The same growth that created our needs for new fire stations has created needs for more repairs to streets and more new streets. That is a possibility that Lincoln residents will be evaluating in the coming months. I am hopeful that new police officers and new firefighters might also be a part of that conversation. As we consider a new community decision, it is worth the review of our last community decision. As the resolution being introduced indicates, we set priorities, we executed, we kept the cost under available revenues. Now, City Hall is doing exactly as the voters instructed by ending the tax. Regardless of what happens next, we should use this opportunity to simply celebrate a tremendous community success. So with that, Roy, did you want to say a few words?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Good morning. I'd just like to make a couple, maybe 3 or 4 points. First is the quarter-cent sales tax will end as described in the original ballot language approved by the voters, unless the mayor and the council decide to end it sooner. Any new sales tax will be just that, new and distinct, and will also require a vote of the people. I am pleased with the bipartisanship on the quarter-cent sales tax for our critical safety needs. I'm looking forward to finding a bipartisan solution to funding our public transportation and public safety needs this year. Thank you.
Tom, did you want to say anything?
Mayor, would you like me to give a little update on where the projects are?
Yeah, you certainly may.
Okay. Well, we're doing really well on the radio system. It's largely built. Most of the equipment has been installed, except for the equipment that goes on the towers. And we can't install the tower equipment until later this spring because we learned late in the process that 2 of our 3 towers needed work done on them. The specifications for public safety radio towers changed sometime in the past 30 years, so we have to do some reinforcement work, we have to do some electrical upgrades. That work is out for bid now, but probably won't be completed until this spring. The winter is going to interfere with some of that construction work at the towers. The 911 center is essentially done. That's been an interesting project to watch as it's been underway. There's miles and miles and miles and miles of cabling and electrical in the 911 center, and it was completely gutted down to the bare walls, pillars, and floors. We'll be moving back into the 911 center sometime within the next several weeks, probably about the first week of March from the backup center, and that's a big milestone. We've received shipment of all of the actual radios. The next step with the radios will be doing the programming of those radios, and then starting to schedule the installation of the radios that are installed in vehicles. After that, staff training, and we expect to be live on the new radio system late spring or very early summer. The fire stations are underway. We have acquired land for 3 of the 4 stations. We're in negotiation right now on the 4th location. A little bit of work took place this fall at 2 of the sites. Well, actually, it was more than a little bit of work, quite a bit of work, primarily consisting of earth moving and demolition of buildings that were on those 2 sites. Construction will begin in earnest in March with the spring construction season. And the construction will take place over 2 construction seasons, the 2018 and 2019 construction seasons. There'll be a great deal of overlap as these stations are built, but we expect that the stations will open on a staggered basis during 2019. Let's see, the locations are 4421 North 24th Street, 6601 Pine Lake Road, 4405 South 84th Street, and then the 4th station, the one that we're still in negotiation on acquiring the land, will be in the vicinity, in all likelihood, of 98th and East O Street. So good progress on all fronts, and things will really pick up with the spring thaw.
All right, questions?
Do you think you'll have a ballot issue on the May ballot? Sales tax?
You know, at this particular point in time, everything is under discussion, and we're working to keep as many options as open as possible and continue to discuss alternatives.
Yeah, what kind of reaction are you getting to that proposal? The roads and so on, the sales tax for that?
You know, again, I don't want to characterize things too much, but I think I can say that everybody we've talked to with respect to roads is in the same place we are. We hear a lot of complaints about our roads. We think citizens want to do something about the roads. And it's just a matter of agreeing on how to go about it. And I think that's be a good way to characterize everything we've talked about. All right, you all set?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Right, thank you.
All right. Yes.
Thomas?